Hello again, everyone. This is Chris Scher. That's Robert Harding, and this is the Citizen Sports Weekly for Thursday, November 19th, 2015. Before we get started, I want to wish my brother Steve a happy birthday.
Well, there you go.
My baby brother, although he's definitely no baby anymore, that's for sure. But Steve, happy birthday to you. Anyways, my brother's having a good day, I would like to think, but I had a bad week. I had the worst week I think I've ever had picking games for our video here, or period. I was 1-5 last week.
Ooh.
The only game I got right was the Bills.
How about that?
Yeah, and Robert was 2-4, and because of that, even though he obviously did not have a great week, he is now the leader. Long way to go, sir. Don't. There's a lot of football left. This is only week 11. We have a long way to go. A lot of games left.
You know how meaningful this is? I can't remember the last time I had a lead over you in this.
No, I've been pretty good in this.
You've been dominant.
Dominant. That's the word I wanted to use, but out of respect to you, I didn't use it. But if you want to use it, go ahead. So, anyways, we're going to pick 6 NFL games. By the way, Robert is 37-23, and I'm 36-24. So there we go. 6 games. Robert's got them down here. The first game we're picking is Tampa Bay at Philadelphia. Eagles played my Dolphins last week. They got physically absolutely dominated. Sam Bradford is out for this game. Not only did he suffer a concussion, he also has a separated shoulder.
Yeah.
So the Ndamukong Suh and Vernon and Olivier, actually, they really beat the guy up pretty good. Tampa Bay surprised Dallas last week. I was stunned by that one. So the Eagles are at home, though. They're 4-5. They're still in the thick of things in the NFC least. You see what I did there? And I like the Eagles in this game. DeMarco Murray, I think they're going to run the ball. I think the defense is going to step up. I mean, the Eagles were up 16-3 in that game last week against Miami, and it got away from them. I think the Eagles definitely settled down this week. I think they're going to run the ball, and I think they can beat Tampa Bay, and they're going to win that game.
Yeah, I like the Eagles at home. I think Tampa Bay benefited from the Cowboys' rough shape. Mm-hmm. Tony Romo obviously still hurt. That offense really isn't anything without him. So, Philly, like we said last week, who knows what version of this team you're going to get. Hopefully this week it's the good version.
Yep. Next game is my Miami Dolphins against the Dallas Cowboys.
That's right.
America's team is coming to South Florida. I've been reading that the resale market for tickets is as high as it's ever been in South Florida for a regular season football game. That's because the boys are in town. Everybody likes to see the boys, especially when Tony Romo's back. This game, I got to admit, I struggled with because, I always say don't go with your heart, go with your head. And Miami, they played like garbage in the first quarter. They had their 3rd straight game with a safety, tying a 35-year NFL record. I want to predict that the Dolphins hopefully will not have another safety this week. I really want to go on the record saying they're not going to do it. They can't do it 4 weeks in a row.
That could be a good prop bet.
Yes, Dallas has lost 7 in a row. Their season is a dumpster fire. Romo has got to be the Superman and come in and save their season. And you know something? I don't think it's going to happen this week. I think Romo's going to be a little rusty. I think he's going to be trying too hard. The Dolphins' pass defense has actually been somewhat decent lately. Rashad Jones had a huge interception of Sanchez in the end zone. Brent Grimes is healthy. He missed last week with food poisoning. And Miami's pass rush has definitely been good, even though Cameron Wake has been hurt. Ndamukong Suh probably had his best game as a Dolphin. He seems to be getting into the swing of things. So I think the Dolphin pass rush, and I think Miami's going to try to run the ball. Jay Ajayi is a name to remember here. The Dolphins are going to use more of this guy. He's the 5th-round pick out of Boise State. Mm-hmm. And I want to think, and plus they have not been home in a while, so I like to think the home field and some of the things that Dolphins have been doing lately are going to help, and I like Miami to win this game over the Cowboys.
I like the Dolphins at home too. I think the Cowboys, whether they get Romo back or not, this team's in rough shape right now. They need to get some things figured out on offense. The defense has let them down at times. Miami, home game, run the ball.
Yeah, I know.
Come on,
I know. Absolutely, I agree with you.
Lamar Miller can get the job done.
Oh, you have him on your fantasy team. That's right.
Well, that's one.
There we go.
But
I knew there was an ulterior motive.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins at home. Ryan Tannehill is certainly not on my fantasy team.
By the way, Lamar Miller has scored a touchdown the last 5 games.
That's right. I would know.
Yeah. So
I know.
Yep. Alrighty, next game, Kansas City at San Diego, classic AFC West matchup. Chiefs are coming off a really good win in Denver, although I think more that it's Peyton Manning's miscues that helped Kansas City more than anything else. The Chargers have been, I think you could safely say the Chargers are a disappointment. They're 2-7.
Yeah.
This is a team with Phillip Rivers at quarterback. This team should be doing a lot better. I think that for them, this is a home game. It's desperation time. They're due for a win. I want to think that. I think Kansas City's 4-5. They're hanging around the playoff race. Thinking almost everybody is. I like the Chargers in this game. Division game. They're familiar with the opponent. They're home. I like the Chargers in this game.
Yeah, again, for me, it goes with a home team. I'm not sold on the Chiefs, even though they beat the Broncos. I think they beat a Broncos team that has, issues at quarterback right now with Peyton Manning being banged up. So, I think San Diego, this is a winnable game for them. It's a home game. Get the job done. Rivers can get it done.
Okay. Our next game is a NFC North matchup. Green Bay at Minnesota. I think Minnesota, you could say, is probably one of the biggest surprises in the NFL this season. I don't think anybody saw them going 7-2 to start things off. But you know something? Mike Zimmer's done a great job. Teddy Bridgewater, solid. Not spectacular, but solid. And obviously Adrian Peterson running the ball, still being Adrian Peterson. Green Bay has lost 3 in a row? 3 in a row they've lost. Yeah, that doesn't happen that often. Very disappointing loss against the Lions last week. First loss in Green Bay to the Lions since half my life ago. 24 years. That's how long it's been. Okay. So Green Bay at Minnesota. I like the Packers. They got to get back on track here. Aaron Rodgers, I think, feels that he personally let the Green Bay team down, the fans down. I think he's going to be very on site, he's just going to be really geared up for this game. Again, division opponent. I know it's a home game for Minnesota, but I think Green Bay, they need this game very bad. They have to win this game if they're going to keep even with Minnesota. I think Green Bay is the more desperate team, the better team on paper at least. I like Green Bay in this game.
I'm taking the Vikings.
Ooh.
I have a few issues with the Packers. I think Rodgers is struggling. I don't think the defense has been playing as well as it was earlier in the season. Before this losing streak. And I think the issues at running back have really hurt them, with Eddie Lacy being injured. James Starks has, done a Niagara Falls product. Got to mention that.
Did not know that.
He's done a good job, but, with Eddie Lacy, you get power, you get, that consistent running. Starks adds a little more in the passing game, but it hasn't been enough. They really need Eddie Lacy. And, I think the Vikings, what they've been able to do on both sides of the ball, I think they can win this game at home.
Our next game is the New England juggernaut known as the Patriots against Robert's Buffalo Bills. We all remember the first time that Rex Ryan said, the New England doesn't scare me, and we're going to beat those guys, and look what happened. And they were up 14-0 early in that game, weren't they? So now we're going to Foxborough, and New England, as you guys all know, is just rolling along here. They just can't lose. They can try to give the games away. They just try to lose. Like, almost want to give people a chance, but they don't think nobody wants to take advantage of it. So New England versus Buffalo, I got to pick the Patriots. Robert, I just have to. I don't know how you can pick against them right now. I mean, I think Tom Brady could fall on his rear end and he'd get up and he'd see a $20 bill laying on the ground there. You know what I mean? It's just they can do no wrong. I mean, are they beatable? Yeah, they're beatable. Every team's beatable, but the Bills, again, are a solid team. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to sneak in. But I don't think they just have enough to slow down Tom Brady.
Oh, I'm taking the Patriots, too. I think for the Bills, there's there are a few keys here. If they are going to win this game, they have to be able to run the ball. Patriots have a good run defense. And, the Bills have a strong run offense. So, can they get the job done against New England? That's going to be a big question. The Patriots don't have Julian Edelman. Big loss for them. But who's going to fill that slot?
Amendola.
Yeah, Danny Amendola is a good candidate. And I remember a couple years ago, there was a game when Amendola, did a number on the Bills. So, let's not act like this Edelman thing's going to, really hurt that offense. They have guys who can step in.
Yeah.
And for the Bills, got to get the takeaways.
You gotta get turnovers.
That's what helped him in the game against the Jets. Yeah. That really was the difference in the game. You gotta get it against Brady, or you're not winning this game.
I mean, the only way you're gonna beat New England is to force him in the turnovers. That's the only way. I mean, it's just and it's tough to do that. So it's gonna be an interesting game to watch. Monday Night Football, that's right. Oh, it's the
Yeah.
Monday night game. Ooh.
Got to get pressure on Brady.
Yeah,
Gotta
oh,
get
absolutely.
pressure.
And you got to
They didn't do that enough.
Make him commit. The thing is, you got to hit him. He might fumble the ball, he might throw an interception, whatever, but that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And the Bills can do that, no doubt about it.
No,
So
no.
we'll see if they can do it. Last game, I think, is arguably, could be a Super Bowl preview. Could be. Unlikely, but possible. Cincinnati at Arizona. Arizona coming off a great win at Seattle last week. Very tough place to win, and they did it. Cincinnati coming off a very disappointing loss to Houston
Say
at
the
home.
least.
I mean, that just was like a clunker. So what Cincinnati team is going to show up? I notice how, like, Cincinnati, before they lost that game, this is a different Cincinnati team. This Cincinnati team is a great team. They're different than the teams in the past. And then they lose to the Texans. It's like, same old Cincinnati.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
I mean, I don't think they're the same Cincinnati team. They're definitely a different team, okay? But that being said, they're going to Arizona, and they are playing on a short week, which I think definitely doesn't help them. And they're on the road, too, and they're not playing against a slouch team. Arizona's for real. Carson Palmer, I think, is going to be very motivated to get revenge on his old team.
Sure.
I like the Cardinals in this game to beat the Bengals.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals too. You know, that game against the Texans, you know, on the Bengals side, having watched that game, I'm just shaking my head. Like, we've been hearing, what you were just talking about all season. Oh, this is a different team.
Yeah.
And then they play the Texans, and it looks like the Bengals that have let you down late in the season over the past few years. And with the Cardinals, man, that game against Seattle, perfect.
Mhm.
I mean, what they were able to do, on the offensive side of the ball. The defense could step up a little more, but going against the Bengals after that performance on Monday Night Football last week, I think that Cardinals defense will have some confidence. I say they win the game.
Anything else you want to add, sir?
I'm all set.
All right, that's it, folks. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you next week.